Hey everybody, Derek here. We're going to talk about the news for 31st of May to the 6th of June 2021. So E3 will be next week. So they've released a schedule. The schedule is a bit generous as there's no actual times on a lot of these things, but I've highlighted a few of them. So starting on Saturday, we'll have some stuff from Ubisoft and Gearbox. Then on Sunday, it'll be Xbox, Bethesda, Square Enix, the PC Gaming Show, and Warner Brothers will be doing some stuff. Then Monday, indie developers throughout the day, Take-Two and Capcom, and then on Tuesday, Nintendo, Bandai Namco, and the awards show. Can't wait for that. So no time blocks on a lot of these. The Nintendo Switch one, I think they've given one as 9 p.m. No, it's not 9 p.m. 9 a.m. like Pacific or whatever. I don't know what that is in Europe time. I'll have to look it up. I guess we'll have to wait until closer to the date to get actual times for when these things go up. As you can also notice, it's on the weekend. Normally I record these shows on the weekend, so potentially I might do a separate video just for the E3 stuff. I haven't decided yet, because obviously there will be a lot of game news coming out of E3 just because of that. And if I try to include that as part of this and also all the other news that goes into these to this video series, it might end up being like 3 hours long or something stupid. So I'll probably split it up. I was hoping to live stream a few of these, but I got the weekend wrong. Basically, I thought it was going to be this weekend, and it's a bank holiday here in Ireland, and I also had the Tuesday off. But I got the days wrong. So anyway, I won't be doing that, I suppose. So there was also a Guerrilla Collective Showcase this week where they showed off a bunch of indie games. A lot of them we kind of knew about already, and they're just sort of popping back up to say, hey, we're here. Don't forget about us. We're coming out soon. So there's a big list here. Kotaku have a big list of different indie titles you can check out. I'm just going to highlight a couple of the ones that I liked, and some of them I've seen, or we have seen before. This is Anno something. What's it called again? Anno Mutationem. I knew I was never going to remember that. Which you've seen before. It was on one of Sony's State of Plays a while ago. It's kind of a side-scrolly cyberpunk combat game. It looks interesting. The kind of running around the city stuff is the stuff I kind of was more interested in. The combat looks really nice. And yeah, I'll be giving this a shot whenever it actually does come out. Then Moroi, which is a top-down horror title that I think was new for the Guerrilla Collective. It has a really interesting art style. And it reminds me a lot of like Nightmare Creatures, like the old PlayStation game. And obviously there's a bit of Bloodborne here too. But yeah, looks interesting, looks super creepy, and these hard cuts to black are really fucking with my eyes, so we're gonna move on. Oh, that guy is creepy. Hello, Edgar. I'm gonna kill you whenever this game comes out. And then Ultra Age, which just looks like some anime nonsense. But yeah, I'm here for it, please. I'm really liking this combat system. I'm really liking this zoom in stuff. There's some really nice graphical effects, and for an indie team, this is really impressive. So we'll see how it turns out when the game itself comes out. And then also, Sony had a VR showcase going on this week. What day was this on? Was it Thursday? I think it was Thursday, where they showed off a bunch of VR titles. So first one, Sniper Elite. It's had a VR thing, I think, on Oculus already, so this is just it coming to PSVR. I don't know how it handles zooming in on the scope. Do you actually have to put the move up to your eye? Oh god, I have old hands. I don't want that. I don't want that VR experience. Guess we're not playing that. Wanderer is like a time shifting thing where you jump into the heads of different famous people from history and do shit with them, I guess. It looks like a very kind of slow paced sort of puzzly type thing. where you put someone in a porta potty and swing them about on a crane. I don't know. Don't do that, kids. Fract was shown off before. This is a kind of parkour cover shooter type thing. Is there any new gameplay in this? I doubt it. But it's a bit stealthy, but it's also like very cover shootery, and I don't think we'll be seeing much of the parkour stuff. I think he's on a zip line doing that. Anyway, it's been out before. It was on one of the other PSVR State of Plays. After the fall, we had a look at too, which was Left 4 Dead, but in VR basically. And this is a deep dive, I think, on their different enemies and stuff. You can have an idea of how the game plays there. It's a 4-player co-op thing, so if you have 3 other people who also aren't who you can also convince to one have a PSVR and set up their PSVR. I guess you can do that unless you want to jump in with some randos, which I do not, so guess I won't be playing that game. I forget what this game is called. Thank you video. Wins and Leaves. No, I think that's the name of the developer. Or maybe it's the name of the game, I don't know. But this is a very slow-paced, chill-out game where you basically start planting trees and flowers and meadows and stuff to kind of revitalize the area, make it look nice. It looks like it's got step walking, which is not great. It kind of makes it feels really lurchy, and I don't like it. Oh no, it is called Winds and Leaves. Alright, fair enough. And then the last one, Arashi Castle of Sin, or Castles of Sin, possibly. Yeah, Castles of Sin is a ninja game in VR, basically. And you have a dog friend, and you are being a stealthy ninja person with some first-person combat, bows and shit. It looks good. it looks interesting, but again, are any of them interesting enough to set up my PSVR? No. Bring them to the Oculus or something. SGDQ released their schedule this week, so Summer Games Done Quick is a charity event where people play a bunch of games and try to play them really, really fast for charity. So here's the list. It's extensive. There are a lot of games, mostly because they play them really, really fast. I've highlighted a couple of the ones that I'm interested in. It's just Dragon Age Inquisition, just because it's under an hour, so there must be some absolutely nuts out of bouncing and glitching and whatever. Shadow of the Colossus on hard, 2 hours. I'm mostly seeing that because there's probably some weird physics shit going on, and they probably just yeet themselves up the Colossus, and it just seems funny. The Devil May Cry ones are always interesting, just because the game looks really, really nice when it's played by someone who knows what they're doing. And then if it's in an hour, then they're probably not doing any glitchy shenanigans, so they're probably playing it properly and just being really good at it. Bloodstained in under half an hour, probably some glitchy nonsense, but mostly there just to highlight the Castlevania block, which is usually a lot of fun. The Resident Evil 7 races are always great, and Resident Evil 7 has it's got a good bit of randomness to it, so it should be interesting to see how that goes. Dead Space, I don't think I've ever seen on a GDQ, so looking forward to that. That should be really interesting. Ghost Runner, I just want to play this because one, it's any percent inbound, so hopefully they're not doing any glitchy shenanigans, and so maybe I might figure out how to play the game. I might pick up some tips, because I really like the game, but I'm fucking shit at it. And I think that was all the ones I was highlighting. Bowser's Fury might be interesting. Dark Souls 3 without glitches, so I'm hoping that glitches includes no out of bounds. I want to watch the Dark Souls ones, but most of the time it's just, I figured out a way how to fake die, and now I can just run away from all the enemies, and that's kind of, I mean, yeah, cool, well done, but also, it's not a lot of fun to watch. And Demon Souls hasn't been on, or the new Demon Souls rather, hasn't been on a GDQ as far as I'm aware, so that will be interesting to see. It is a bonus game though, so that has to be voted in by incentives and stuff, but there are fucking tons of games on that list. I'm sure you'll find a few that you're probably interested in, and GDQ in and of itself is a good event. It's for a good cause, and it's usually really entertaining. It's something to keep on during work. And yeah, we'll move on. So something that came about, like, it mentioned very briefly rumors last week that Bloodstained Ritual of the Night was getting a sequel. It's basically been confirmed, but they've also been pointing out that it's in very early stages and they are currently concentrating on the original title, because that still has a lot of content coming out for it on the different platforms. Some platforms are getting them earlier than others, so they're still working through that. Bloodstained's a really good game, and if you haven't picked it up yet, if you like the Castlevania games that are Metroidvania types, those type of Castlevanias, pick it up. It's very, very good. An update on The Good Life. If you're not familiar, The Good Life is a Kickstarter title from Swery. It is a kind of slice of life thing where you are a transplanted New York socialite photographer type person who really, really doesn't want to be here, but they have to go here to pay off a considerable debt. So they have to take on odd jobs about the place. And you can turn into cats and dogs for some reason that's not explained yet. I'm sure it'll be explained in the story at some point. And some murder mysteries and shit happen along the way. Plus, it's Swery, so it's gonna be fucking weird. Swery makes a bunch of weird shit. I have backed it, so I have some incentive to see this game come out and hopefully be good. I hope people like it. I hope I like it. From what I've seen, it looks like a lot of fun. Plus, I'm not sure if it's in the trailer, but you can run around on a sheep. There it is. So you can have some fun nonsense in the game as well. I hope it'll be good. Swery games are usually pretty jank, but they're also usually a lot of fun. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, new releases this week. So most of these are coming from the PlayStation Plus. This is Operation Tango, and their trailer just has a bunch of nonsense streamers being streamers, basically. But this is a cooperative game where you have to have your microphone on, you have to be talking all the time. It's a bit of keep talking, nobody explodes bit to it, where you can't see what they're doing, so they have to describe what they're doing, and you need to kind of help them out and describe what they have to do with your words. So yeah, we'll see how that works out. Some of the gameplay and some of the Let's Plays I've seen of it looks really interesting, but I have nobody to play it with. And I'm not a big important streamer where I can get people to play it with me, so there you go. Necromunda, a hired gun, looks like yes it is another Warhammer game. There seems like there's another Warhammer game every month. This one looks kind of good. It's like a first-person-y type. There's a lot of Doom going on here. There's some wall running. There's a bit of Titanfall there too. From what I've seen from people playing it online, it's jank as fuck. But that's fine. I don't mind jank shit. Focus Home Interactive, they just seem to make jank. Or publish jank. I don't know. I think they're a publisher. I don't think they're a developer. But this looks like pretty fast-paced, high octane combat. You do have a friendly or not so friendly dog companion who may or may not be in this trailer. I don't think they are. There they are. You have a dog friend who has robo jaws. He may actually be a robo dog. I don't know. But whatever. It looks interesting, but I'm probably going to wait for a sale. I have a shit ton of games to play anyway. I don't really need to wait. And then kind of out of nowhere, Overboard. This is a game by Inkle. Inkle made 80 Days and Heaven's Vault, which are both really, really good games. They're kind of randomized in such a way. Overboard, you are playing this woman socialite on the left who kills her husband right at the start of the game for the insurance money. And basically the gist of the game is to keep that on the down low without to get away with murder, as the trailer points out there. Let's replay that because that was a short trailer, or I skipped ahead of it too much. Skip. And basically the game is to just try to get away with it. Some people might have found out what happened. They might find you suspicious because your husband has been missing for X number of days or whatever, so you need to get rid of them or hide the evidence or whatever. It looks really fun. Inkle make really interesting story-based games, and it's just surprise launch. They just said, yeah, it's out, go play it. So it's out on Switch, I think it's out on PC, and I think that's it. I don't think it's out on any other systems at the moment. Feel free to tell me otherwise. Okay, so you're I think you guys, your favorite part of the show, the industry bullshit, where we get really angry about stuff. I don't know. Anyway, Injustice 2 Mobile celebrates Pride by having players beat up a queer character. You idiots! Anyway, okay, so there was an in-game event where people had to beat up Poison Ivy. Poison Ivy, if you're not familiar with comics, she is canonically bi. So basically, it was celebrate Pride by beating the shit out of a bi character. As some people point out, that's hilariously tone deaf. The beloved Pride celebration of repeatedly punching a barely clothed bi woman in the face. Not great. The whole gist of the thing is here. Let's defeat Poison Ivy 400,000 times. Like, these kind of events are like, you know, they happen and the game is a combat game, but couldn't you have played as Poison Ivy and fought a bunch of people, not beat her up? Anyway, there's an update to this article where the Injustice guys came out, and it's funny that they have the Pride logo at the same time. Fuck's sake. But we recognize yada yada yada, we fucked up, and people found out about it. You idiots. Right. Capcom faces a $12 million lawsuit after data leak allegedly shows it stole photos. Good job, idiots. So, why will you not behave yourself, mouse? Why do you not behave yourself? I'll have to go back to locked mode. Okay, so designer GDA Juracek has a book of 1,200 photographs of textures that she has released under, I think it's under Creative Commons license. And because of that, she requires any companies that license the images that they have to pay for it if it's going to be for commercial use. So they have 80 images allegedly showing Juracek's images repurposed in various Capcom games. So they have them here. Here's one texture that's been shown in Village, I guess. I don't recognize any of those images, and I haven't played Village yet, so it's probably Village. A few of these. This is from Devil May Cry. This is also from Devil May Cry. This is also... No, this is the original Resident Evil, or the remaster. The remake remaster of the original Resident Evil. Fucking hell. And that's the Resident Evil 4 logo, even has something on it. So something that's a little bit damning for them is that some of the images have the exact same name as the photograph from Surface's CD. Surfaces being the name of the book that this collection of textures comes from. Not looking good for them. She's looking for 12 million in damages and a further yada yada for each photograph used under false copyright pretenses. They got this information based off Capcom's data breach. Happened last year at some stage where they were subjected to a ransomware attack and they didn't pay it, so they leaked all the stuff online. And that ended up showing off that, hey, maybe you've been using some images that you were supposed to pay for, or license rather. I mean, this is an ongoing investigation, so we'll see how it plays out, but I mean, these look pretty close. and this part having the exact same name, not good. Okay, some Quantic Dream bullshit happening here. So you may recall there was I think we did a story on this. I read a story on the internet by somebody else and claimed it as my own, where Quantic Dream have been alleged to be creating a toxic workplace, unfair dismissals. They had like this ridiculous collection of doctored photographs where people were put into sexual positions or doctored photoshopped to look like Nazis and things like that. So this is coming as part of that trial. The trial is ongoing at the moment, and there's just some stupid shit happening. So David Cage allegedly cried on the stand, stomping his feet, screaming about interferences to his business, sure, and damage to his honor, and eventually storming out of the courtroom altogether. It's kind of glossing over what happened here is that he was, I think, being deposed at the time, and they were bringing up stuff he had said in the past which is like we don't make games for derogatory F word meaning a gay person, and so on. Like, it's just shit that he should absolutely not be should absolutely not be in charge of people if these are his viewpoints. He's talking about all the women in his game are whores. Like, stupid shit, and then he's crying about it because they're impugning his honor, and he cannot possibly defend his honor after talking about this shit. But crying on the stand and stomping his feet, just, I wish you could record court proceedings. I just want to see it. Artist impression of David Cage running out of the courtroom would be hilarious. But anyway, and then co-CEO de Fondemier, don't know, not French. Well, I mean, he's probably French. I'm not French. Anyway, reportedly looked at the judge and asked, "I'm not under oath, so can I lie?" I mean, yeah, you can, but Jesus Christ. Before claiming Quantic Dream was seriously damaged by the stories about its toxic work environment, and then the union Solidaires Informatique says that Fondemier didn't provide proof of these damages. So was that a lie? Like, if we want to deal with you from now on, we'll have to put you under oath. The rest of the article kind of just highlights why they're in this legal proceedings. They're taking a defamation claim against Le Monde and Mediapart, claiming defamation about all these things about their working conditions. But then they also, as part of defending themselves, they gave out these kind of documents to show that they're not doing any social security fraud, which apparently they were being accused of that too. But the documents revealed irregularities in the process and a possible incident of unlawful dismissal. Fucking idiots. Okay. EA has pulled 5 Need for Speed games from sale and will be shutting down their servers. So this is another thing of game preservation not happening because EA aren't making money anymore. So as of May 31st, so they put this story out on May 31st. So, like, no heads up, none whatsoever. Just these 5 Need for Speed games. I don't play Need for Speed. Don't particularly care for Need for Speed. Don't play racing games. But I'm sure there are plenty of people who want to. In a post on the Need for Speed Reddit, a member of the dev team announced this. Like, not even like a press release. On the fucking Reddit, they say this stuff is all gone. The in-game stores featured in each store are also being closed today, huh? EA aren't making any money anymore, huh? So now we're going to take the games completely offline. The games will still be playable offline, but you just won't be able to buy them anymore. So if you already own the game, you'll still be able to download it. But if you haven't bought it up to this point, you no longer have that option. So you can't look at the new and improved Need for Speed that comes out in whatever, Need for Speed 2021, whatever it is, or 2022. But you can't go back in time to see how it's progressed up to that time. You can't go back in time to see how the game design had changed, what effects it had on the game. You can't see the history of the game, the series, because EA aren't making money on it anymore. And it's just really, really shit. And not only that, but just dumping it on the Reddit. Like, who the fuck else is going to see that story? Right when the sale ends, as this person points out, right at the end of the Steam sale, I think was going on at the time. I think there was a PlayStation sale too. Plus, it was like right at the end, May 31st for US time. So, like Europe and Asia, I think at that stage it was already June. There's absolutely no chance of buying them if they wanted to. It's just shitty game preservation practices by companies because they're not making money on it anymore, and they don't care about the history of their own titles. They don't care about the history of it, and it is disappointing that the wrong people are in charge of these game companies. Anyway, this is going back to a story that I read and recorded myself reading last week. which was Far Cry 6 is not political somehow. Ubisoft continuing the line of saying that none of our games are political, that way everybody can play them and we can make the most money out of it. So don't think too hard about the politics that are obvious blatantly in the game. Don't think too hard about them. This is the game director, sorry, not the game director, the narrative director, Navid Kavari, coming back to say on the Ubisoft blog, no, this game absolutely is political. I know what you're talking about. It's a modern revolution. It's got to be. That's definitely political. That's him there, Navid. So this whole article basically just takes his blog, or not his entire blog, but it's just him going on about how they talked to people who were involved in different revolutions about the time, how close to that would be, did we handle it with the correct sensitivity and so on. They're not saying that they did, but they're saying that they tried, which is the best anybody can accept. So it's actually really good, like, write-up about like what they're trying to, not necessarily what they're trying to achieve, but like what the narrative direction for Far Cry 6 is, the kind of revolution backing that it has, that kind of thing. You know, he does go into some pretty good detail about it. So it's better than the usual PR line of this obviously political game isn't political. I just thought it was nice that, you know, somebody involved with Ubisoft actually came back to say, yes, obviously political game is political. Alright, so some dumb stuff. So a ROM site owner decided to fight Nintendo in court. Why? And lost $2 million. Now, debatable if he's actually lost it, because I don't think he can actually pay for it, but anyway. Now closed ROM universe operator defended himself without an attorney. That's why it's in dumb stuff. That's why it's not in industry bullshit. So, California lawsuit from Nintendo filed at the end of 2019 alleged that owner of the site, Matthew Storman, uploaded and distributed pirated Nintendo games, or ROMs. And here's the big fuck up, guys. Here's the big fuck up part. He charged a subscription for it. That's the fuck up. Don't charge for it. If you want to distribute ROMs, do not charge for it. Worst you'll get then is a cease and desist and fine. You won't get you won't get fined. If you charge for it, you're gonna get a fucking fine, dude. Don't do it. Anyway, he decides to fight Nintendo in court without an attorney. He argued the site wasn't breaking any laws and that he hadn't uploaded any of the ROMs himself. I'm not sure it really matters. You own the site and it's hosted there, so I'm not sure it really matters. But he had previously admitted that he did upload the ROMs to the site. So this guy's huge dumbass. Defendant filed a declaration in opposition to the motion wherein he denies and disputes that he uploaded any files to said website, and at no time did he verify the content of said ROM file. Okay. But then he has a sworn deposition wherein he testified that he uploaded the ROM to his website. Ah, you idiot! Also, this is what the website looks like. So, you know, clearly there's no Nintendo things happening on this website. Definitely not. The site generated between 30 and 36k. That's not even a lot of money. Anyway, the court decided he was liable for direct, contributory, and vicarious copyright infringement as well as trademark infringement. Well, you could get fucked, so. Wow. Nintendo requested $15 million in copyright and trademark infringement damages. But the judge wound that down to $35k per game, so 35 times 49 for the 49 copyrighted Nintendo games. Not to mention what other games are on that website, what other companies could come after him for it. Nintendo had requested $90k per game. Trademark damages were also lower. Nintendo requested $400k per game, and the judge basically said $400k flat. Just that's it. Which all comes down to $2,115,000 in damages. Wow, you big dumbass! Not only did you fucking contradict your own sworn deposition, but then you decided to represent yourself against a corporation who is known for litigation. That's why he's in dumb stuff, folks. Anyway, more dumb stuff. Among Us, McDonald's chicken nuggets sold for $100K on eBay. Oh my god. It attracted 180 bids, 180 idiots. And somebody won it. Somebody won the used nugget. Used. Used for what? Anyway, it went for $99,997, so almost 100K on eBay. Item will be frozen and then air sealed to ensure freshness. A fresh used chicken nugget, freshly used chicken nugget for 100K, please. This food product has an average expiration of about 14 days. 14 days? Oh, fuck, Jesus, what the hell are they putting them? Meat lasts 14 days. Anyway, it looks like a Mungus character, this thing, and somebody paid 100 grand plus shipping for a chicken nugget. I hate the internet sometimes. I hate the internet. Alright, anyway. I gotta be real careful when I wake up my Stream Deck even, because the same button that wakes it up is also the stop recording button. I should move that. I don't even know what view I'm on now. Fuck. Alright, I'm on the correct view. Okay. Anyway, that was the news for 31st of May to 6th of June 2021. Not a huge amount, mostly because a lot of game companies are keeping all their news for next week, for E3. Again, haven't really decided what I'm going to do about E3. I might do one per day or per conference. Problem is, a lot of them are on during my working hours, so I can't really watch them in real time. Or rather, I can... I could kind of watch them in real time, but you know, it's work from home. They don't know. I can't record my reactions to them in real time. Definitely not. You know, I do need to be able to respond to work stuff and actually work. So yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do about the E3 stuff. I don't know why I thought it was this weekend. I was gonna take the Tuesday off anyway. It's because I like to take the day. Why do you do this to me, Evie? I like to take the day after a bank holiday off. I don't know. I like doing it. It's just kind of hoping E3 was going to be at the same time, but it wasn't. So that's the end of that. Anyway, I don't know what I'm going to do with E3 yet. I might postpone next week's news video just because of it, just because they overlap, and you'll only be getting like half the news. You won't be getting all of it. So, don't know yet. There'll be something. There'll be some video. It mightn't be a news video. It might be specifically an E3 video. We'll find out. Anyway. Hope you guys liked that video? Probably not. But whatever. Maybe you did. We'll find out next week what's happening about E3, and maybe we'll get some actual news. Other than that, I don't know. Anyway. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you next time.